And we are live. Welcome to the last show of October 27th, 2017, not mainstream. And yeah, so it's been one heck of a week. Not much happened. I think the biggest story out of this week was the whole JFK files being released. And only
Yes.
2,800 out of the 33 so thousand of them were released. So the reason they said that only some of it's going to be released was because he's going to put national security at risk. And
Yeah, I mean that's right. And that's what the president doesn't want. Doesn't want certain individuals to be compromised, and I don't blame him.
yeah, I'm kind of skeptical about that because here's the thing: if the FBI and CIA is using the same security tactics ever since the '60s, then it's kind of hard to believe that that it's national security at risk. I think the president was probably misled into believing it's going to be a national security issue. In reality, it
Yeah, he
wasn't.
may have been.
He gave them a 6-month ultimatum. So he said, you know what? Let's release some of the files now, and then you guys got 6 months to release the rest of the stack of the files. It's going to be a quite interesting 6 months and see what else comes out of those JFK files. But I've been looking on the internet and the interwebs and Twitter and Facebook, and I haven't really found any major big news that's came out of these files quite yet. Yeah, so let's talk about the JFK.
Well,
we've talked about it before.
There was a
yeah, go ahead.
interesting came out about one of the memos that J. Edgar Hoover had sent out,
Mm-hmm.
In which he was urging that the American people should believe acted alone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did hear about that part. And I heard about some of the media being paid by the CIA.
Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising either.
Yeah, and it won't be surprising if they still pay him today.
And I went to the JFK, the museum, the 6th floor museum in Dallas a few days ago.
You did, and you told us about that, and it was a great story, fantastic story about that story. You're gonna go on the other channel of mine, looking for Bigfoot. See, shameless plug. You have to go on the other channel to hear about that. We're forcing you on the other channel. Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, a lot. Who was it? Leroy Blevins pointed out to Shelley Covington and I that the little manhole cover that's right there on the median.
Mm-hmm.
There's a median. The Gilly Plaza goes. Anybody who's been there knows it goes like this.
Yeah.
There's a tunnel. There's a tunnel off that way, going. And there's a median right there. There's a little manhole cover, and there's bullet holes in that manhole cover.
Wow. Yeah.
We saw them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
how many bullet holes are there?
About 3 or 4 at least.
Wow.
But it's interesting this development with the J. Edgar Hoover memo saying that we need to put it out to the American people and make they must believe. This is basically what Hoover said, that American people must believe that Oswald acted alone. So, but the new book by Roger Stone. There's a book by Roger Stone about the JFK assassination, and he heavily implies LBJ in setting up the conditions for the assassination. So,
oh yeah,
and it would not be surprising.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah, because LBJ was in Texas. He's from Texas. From Texas, and He had a lot of connections. We know that we know that he had a lot. We know that, and it's pretty easy to have connections when you know everybody, basically.
Yeah, and plus, not only that, you have Bush Senior being involved in the whole plot as well, from what I've heard. And
well, Roger Stone,
if they mention
Roger,
go ahead.
Well, Roger Stone doesn't say anything about Bush Senior being involved in it. Just LBJ.
But
although it would not surprise me, I will say it would not surprise me if.
Wouldn't surprise me either. But I think, from what I understand, was that he wasn't involved, but he might have been involved in some capacity after the whole.
That's what I'm saying.
The whole. The whole Bush Senior was as head of director of the CIA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing that the Bushes do surprises me anymore. W. Bush,
they're globalists.
Yeah, they are. George W. Bush has come out and trashed Trump. George W. Bush didn't say a word about Obama for 8 years. Trashing Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's, people now is just opening their eyes and see how corrupt our system is. It's the Democrats and Republicans. Because he broke that boundary. To me, I consider him an independent. He's not beholden to any establishment Democrats. He's not beholden to any establishment Republicans. The media hates him. Things too, and but going back on the topic of JFK, it's going to be quite interesting to see what else is in those files, and how much of the redaction they're going to do between now and the 6-month deadline. There's probably still some people that's alive that witnessed and were somewhat involved in the assassination of JFK. Bush Senior being one of them. I mean, they're probably going to go through, his name and try to blackbar it out so that people don't know who was involved or. But so the JFK assassination, I really believe I don't believe Lee acted alone. I believe there was some second shooter. I believe the CIA probably conspired
to
do it.
You're trying to break up some. They don't like us talking about JFK either.
No, they do not. Man, every time we talk about these controversial topics, we get broken up by Google is a part of the establishment.
Yeah.
But so what do you think is going to happen in the 6 months?
The whole thing is fascinating. What happened? To talk about. I mean, the conspiracies and everything. Showing about Roger Stone's book on JFK, which they did not have at the gift shop at the museum, by the way.
Oh.
They did not have Roger Stone's book on the JFK assassination. Books, but they didn't have that one. They have the movie JFK. So I don't know what was up with that, but
yeah, that's weird. They don't want the truth out there. So according to the Gateway Pundit, and this might be in one of the files, he said that Lee Harvey Oswald met with a KGB assassin before JFK was killed. And this is from the Daily Mail UK. Lee Harvey Oswald met with a senior KGB agent months before the assassination of JFK. Documents from the newly released trove has revealed Oswald met with Agent Valery Vladimirovich Kosk. No, I have no idea how to pronounce that. See, we don't work with the Russians, all right? So if we was working with the Russians, I could be able to pronounce his name. But we don't work with the Russians, so I can't pronounce his name.
that's something we got to talk about too, about the new information that's come out about the Russian thing.
Yes, we will get to that. That is going to be some great stuff to get into. Uranium One. We talked about some of it last week with Sharon, and Sharon, fantastic. She is great. I wish she was with us tonight, but maybe she got busy with something. But that's okay. It's Halloween weekend. I understand. So, Oswald met with some kind of Russian agent in Mexico City Soviet embassy 2 months before the president was shot and killed in Dallas on November 22nd, 1963. The Russian agent was senior agent in the 13th Department, which was responsible for assassinations. This was revealed in an intercept phone call to the Soviet embassy, during which he was heard speaking in broken Russian. Another document reveals that the FBI was aware of the meeting on October 1st, and in 1963, more than a month after JFK was killed, meeting Oswald was already on their radar.
Yeah, well, he lived in Russia for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That, of course, a lot of people think he was a Russian spy. He did know some Russian. Mm-hmm. He used some of the language.
Yeah.
One other thing, the famous picture of Oswald holding the rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's holding a copy of Pravda, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's newspaper. You know, a lot of people thought that was a doctored photograph, and they put his head on somebody else's body. Mm-hmm. They performed some tests on that photograph, and they found out that yes, no, that is him. That was him.
Wow.
So they did not put his head on somebody else's body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was interesting as well. Gateway Pundit continues. As the Gateway Pundit previously reported, the U.S. government delayed the release of the long-awaited JFK assassination files, as CIA officials have yet to identify which documents President Trump must sign off on for release. If I was Trump, I would have released the whole thing. Sebastian Gorka actually did an interview with Lou Dobbs, and he was like, Lou Dobbs is like, screw the intelligence agency, release the whole documents. And I wish he would have released everything, but I think he was probably misled into believing this is going to be national intelligence related. It's going to disrupt national intelligence, which is quite strange to me. I think they needed more time to the information that they don't want the American people to read, because they never thought that Trump was going to become president. They thought Hillary had it in the bag. Now, if Hillary was president, she would not release these files at all, not even one. All right. So thank God we had Trump to release these files.
Oh, do you know that a year ago, Hillary wished herself a happy birthday? She said, "Happy birthday to the future president."
Yeah, I saw that.
About that.
That's great.
I saw some of the mark. Oh, his new book, November 7th. Yeah.
New book is coming out. I have to do that. I think it's gonna be quite an interesting read.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get myself a copy of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that it'll be like for the Kindle. Get it for the Kindle. Definitely.
Well, is joining us.
Hi guys.
Hey, we was talking about the JFK files. So it's been released.
Hey, Leo.
Yesterday.
Hi. Yeah, I saw something about it. I didn't delve into it. Of course, I've heard a lot about it.
They were actually released released overnight. I had a doctor's appointment today, and he actually went to Dallas last month.
Oh, cool.
He mentioned that they've been released overnight. That the files have been released overnight. So.
Yeah, interesting. They do that. Release the files overnight, so nobody can read them. The secret Obamacare vote. They did it on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day overnight.
I remember it.
Obama say everything Obama did, he did on Friday of a holiday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now they release these files. So continue with the article. On Thursday evening, CBS News, crappy broadcasting system news, reported intelligence agencies will release 2,800 documents, and the rest in 180 days from yesterday, today. According to reports, President Trump is fuming over the delay. According to the White House, President Trump believes intelligence agencies are not meeting with the spirit of the law by withholding JFK files. The decision came after the CIA gave Trump two options to delay the release until every file was certified publishable, or risk national security by releasing unevaluated, unredacted files. President Trump selected the former. So the biggest problem I'm having is with the national security, and Lela was discussing before you came on, is that if it's a national security issue, why is the FBI and CIA using the same methods they are from the 60s and present day? I mean, you know, the FBI and CIA, their methods is very, very different from the 60s and now from today's standards. So I don't believe a national security issue is the reason why these files are being delayed within 6 months. I believe there's people that's still alive and their names is still in those files, and they have to have time to be redacted.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck, I'm only 51, and when was it we said the other night? 65?
63.
63.
Yep.
So, yeah, 63, 73, 83. There's 30 years worth of people still alive.
Yeah.
That were young people or even middle-aged people at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But who knows what they were told or threatened.
Yeah.
Told to say or not to say, or threatened to say or not to say. And who knows what. I don't know. Kennedy was a Democrat. And although so many people love the Kennedys, my family, my mom and dad, and, you know, further back, didn't like the Kennedys that well. They didn't wish them any harm, and they were sorry for all the tragedies that went with the Kennedy family.
Mm-hmm.
But they were still Democrats, and they were in the 60s. The Democrats had already started working on the agenda that they're trying to fulfill today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the missing piece of this puzzle is Marilyn Monroe. It's very well known that JFK and Marilyn Monroe had an affair. And she?
Ted was the baseball player. Yeah. JFK.
Mm-hmm.
No, Joe. You're talking about Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's who she was married to.
Mm-hmm.
She was married to Joe DiMaggio.
And could her names be in those files?
Yeah, and Marilyn Monroe is not any part of the JFK Museum either. Of her.
Yeah.
Well, if I was Jackie, I wouldn't have let her be any part of it if I had any say so.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh man, could you? Okay, so Henry, I got a question for you. Jackie or Marilyn Monroe? Who would you pick?
I'd pick Jackie if I was a man.
Yeah.
Jack, really?
I mean, Marilyn.
Hot.
Marilyn was a wild horse.
Maybe,
I don't mean in a bad way.
Maybe Marilyn for a one-night stand, and Jackie for marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacqueline Kennedy.
I think Jackie would be.
She was a very classy lady. She was very classy.
Oh yeah.
She was. way more classy than Marilyn. Nothing against Marilyn.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, Marilyn was, it's just from what I have always gathered, and she was more of a good time girl, which is great. Where Jackie was more settled, decent, demure, had etiquette,
Mm-hmm.
that type of thing.
Yeah, Jackie was very refined. That's one thing you could say about her. She was very refined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, refined is a good word. Yeah.
And she was very classy, very refined, very she wasn't the type who was a wild person, and she for her for marriage and the
Mm-hmm.
and the sanctity of marriage. She didn't get remarried obviously till after JFK was gone.
Yeah.
Right.
She never ran around him.
Well, I was looking on when Marilyn died. She died in 1962, a year before JFK died, was assassinated.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think she had like a drug over. Yeah, she had a drug overdose. That's what killed her.
That's what they claim. I think there's something more to that story. I really do. I think someone killed her.
Yeah, some also thought maybe she committed.
Yeah.
Some also thought maybe she committed suicide, but I'm not so sure if that's accurate or not.
Or did she commit suicide like all the people who have been in with the Clintons, that just happened out of the blue to commit suicide?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Hillary. Oh my God. We're going to be talking about Hillary.
Exactly. All right. So to wrap up this whole JFK thing, what do you see coming out next? What I see is that they're going to redact a shit ton of stuff from those files. They're going to redact names. They're going to redact witnesses. They're going to redact methods and all this other nonsense. That's what I see.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to see some redacting and some changing around and things like that. Yeah, I agree with you, Shane. I think that is what we're going to see.
Mm-hmm. I don't see that anything is going to come out of it that is going to make any big difference now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you're the family,
yeah,
or something you would want it looked into more or whatever, but for the general public, we know what we know. We don't know what we don't know, and at this point, I'm sorry to quote HRC, but what difference at this point does it make?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's been 50 years plus, and yes, it would still be nice to know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's been a long time, and
yeah, we're talking about over 5.5 decades, or almost 5.5 decades. So
yeah, and when those rest of the files come out, I don't see one big bombshell that says, "Oh, the CIA was involved in doing this," or "Oh, it wasn't just Lee Harvey Oswald; it was Lee Harvey Oswald or someone else." I don't see a huge. I do see, like I said earlier, there's going to be a whole lot of redactions, and there might be some, big news coming out of it, but not no big bombshells.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. Not that I'm saying I don't care. What difference does it make? just say, yeah, I agree with you, Shane. I'm saying I just don't see there being anything huge.
Mm-hmm.
So let the man rest. If there's nothing huge or somebody that had a big darn part in it that you can arrest or put up in jail, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
okay, maybe, but let the man rest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I was saying to Shane, I'd seen on the news earlier that among the new file, I'm getting tongue tied here. Sorry about
The
that.
Russians took your tongue?
Yeah.
They did. Now, among the newest revelations from the files, J. Edgar Hoover saying we need to urge the American people to believe are acting alone.
Yeah, that's big right there, and I'm surprised that hasn't been redacted. I was just thinking to myself, how many files between then and now have been shredded or destroyed in some kind of fire or mysterious, whatever.
But who knows?
There's really no telling. There's no
Yeah.
telling.
Yeah. Maybe somebody took a cloth and wiped them off. You never know.
Exactly. Yeah, they took a cloth and just wiped it. Yeah, there you go.
For the cloth? Oh, God.
Remember, that's what Hillary said.
What do you mean wipe
When
the
her
server?
server
Like a cloth?
What do you mean? Like, wipe it with a cloth?
She is so stupid. So she
God.
is so stupid.
Oh, God.
So speaking of stupid Hillary, a lot has came out
Forgive
since the a lot has came out of the Uranium One deal that was
Yeah.
so Obama bribed the Russians. Robert Mueller was involved with the whole Uranium One deal.
Yeah.
Hillary, approved of the whole thing. Obama approved of the whole thing. Hillary was involved. Bill was involved. Hillary's State Department was involved. We have all these people that were involved in this whole Uranium One deal. And they blame Trump working with the Russians to help him win an election. Come on, give me a break, people. So,
Well, now it appears that Hillary was the one conspiring with the Russians.
yeah. So you guys remember the whole Trump dossier where he went to Russia and he got, peed on by some Russian hookers. Apparently, Hillary's campaign paid for that, and one mystery, John McCain, Republican, paid for that. Now it's apparently, let me see here. Fusion
John,
GPS
do we
is
know
saying, well,
Shane was involved in that?
he shopped it around
Because,
for
yeah.
he shopped it
No,
around
I
BuzzFeed.
know we know he's involved in a lot of crap. On the other side, he
Mhm.
shouldn't be involved in. But was John McCain involved in hookers peeing on Trump?
No, he was involved of getting the dossier and shopping around to news networks, and apparently BuzzFeed picked it up because BuzzFeed is apparently some credible news source now because top 10 cat videos on BuzzFeed is such newsworthy that they have to
Oh, yeah.
get the whole Fusion GPS Trump dossier. So according to Dennis Michael Lynch's news site, breaking conservative media outlets. Conservative media outlet admits it hired Fusion GPS for opposition research on Trump. After a month of accusing the Trump campaign of colluding with the Russians this week, it was revealed that Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign and Democratic National Committee funded the Trump dossier that obtained unfounded and unverified allegations about Donald Trump's connection with Russia. A report from the Washington Post this week revealed that the involvement of the Clinton's campaign and the DNC. The report also hinted before the agreement, Fusion GPS research into Trump was funded by an unknown Republican client during the GOP primary. And I think we know who that client was. I'm going to go with a hard John McCain on that one.
Yep. That would be my guess.
Just who the Republican client was had remained a mystery until Friday evening. Now, in yet another bombshell development, conservative media outlet the Washington Free Beacon published a report Friday evening admitting that Now I'm getting tongue-tied. Now, in another bombshell development, conservative media outlet the Washington Free Beacon published a report Friday evening admitting that they had retained the Fusion GPS to provide research on multiple candidates in the Republican presidential primary. The article published by the Free Beacon was from editor-in-chief Matthew Contetti, who maintained that they had nothing to do with Christopher Steele or the dossier, which was ultimately published by BuzzFeed and determined to mostly be fake news. Below is a complete statement from the Free Beacon published Friday, October 27th, and this is the statement. Since its launch in February of 2012, the Washington Free Beacon has retained third-party firms to conduct research on mainly individuals and institutions of interest to us and our readers. In that capacity, during the 2016 election cycle, we retained Fusion GPS to provide research on multiple candidates in the Republican presidential primary, just as we retain other firms to asset in our research into Hillary Clinton. All of the work that Fusion GPS provided to the Free Beacon was based on public sources, none of the work product that the Free Beacon received appears in the Steele dossier. The Free Beacon had no knowledge or connection to the Steele dossier, did not pay for the dossier, and never had contact with knowledge of or provided payment for any work performed by Christopher Steele. Nor did we have any knowledge of the relationship between Fusion GPS and the Democratic National Committee, Perkins Coie, and the Clinton campaign. Representatives of the Free Beacon approached the House Intelligence Committee today and offered to answer what questions we can in their ongoing probe of the Fusion GPS and Steele dossier. But to be clear, we stand by our reporting. We do not apologize for our methods. We consider it our duty to report verifiable information, not falsehoods or slander. And we believe that commitment has been well demonstrated by the quality of the journalism that we produce. The First Amendment guarantees our right to engage in news gathering as we see fit, and we intend to continue doing this just as we have since the day we launched this project. Matthew Contetti, editor-in-chief. So apparently they're the ones that started this whole thing, or from what I've gathered, they're the ones that did the whole research into this, and they found the dossier of Trump. Now, apparently in that dossier, they said there's a video of this, if I'm not bad or mistaken.
Yep, that is what I have heard. Video, supposedly, hidden camera video of Trump getting pissed on, yeah.
Why hasn't this video been released? Just like the grab her by the pussy tape.
Because it's fake news.
Exactly. Boom. There we go.
Yeah, Weinstein can rape 42 women or however many, and go right on about life, and nobody says a word. And Trump can say one crude thing, and oh my God. I swear, girls pick and choose,
Yep.
and turn it around.
Yeah, so more with this whole uranium one. Breitbart did a 7 facts that's mainstream media has already been confirmed. Fact number 1, confirmed by the New York Times, the former head of Russia's uranium company, Ian Tefler, made 4 hidden donations to the Clinton Foundation, totaling $2.35 million. The Russians gradually assumed control of Uranium One in 3 separate transactions from 2009 to 2013. Canadian records show a flow of cash made its way into the Clinton Foundation. Uranium One's chairman used his family's foundation to make 4 donations, a total of $2.35 million. Those contributions was not publicly disclosed by the Clintons, despite an agreement with Mrs. Clinton has struck with Obama's White House to publicly identify all donors. Other people with ties to the company has made donations as well. Confirmed by the New York Magazine, bagged a $500,000 speech in Moscow, paid for by the Kremlin-backed bank.
There you go.
Another one that's confirmed.
The Russians.
Exactly.
Yeah, who's
confirmed
involved with the Russians? Yeah.
Exactly. I know. I mean, you go to Moscow to make a speech and get $500,000 for it by a Russian bank. Come on.
The question to start with, from the very beginning, was Obama and Hillary had brown-nosed the Russians all these years anyway. And it was obvious Trump was not going to. So, why in the hell would the Russians sabotage the election for Hillary?
Exactly. I mean, you think they would do it in favor of Hillary because of all the money they gave them, and all the money they gave and all the campaign they. Yeah, I mean, it's like scratch my back, I scratch yours.
You start with. Trump said he thought he could get along with Putin and this and that and whatever.
Yeah. And that's what started this whole Russian thing, was that when Trump said, "Oh, I can get along with Putin." Boom! Right there. There's your Russian collusion.
Bush did to some extent. Obama did not. Obama was too
strict.
Excuse me, but unmanly. Putin, even if he hates your guts, if you are manly and stand up, he is going to have some respect, even if he still doesn't like you. And he had no respect for Obama. He knew he could walk on him, and he did. And he may not like Trump, but I will bet you he has at least a small amount of respect for Trump, because Trump ain't gonna take his crap, and he knows it. And respect, as we know, is not commanded.
It's earned both ways.
That's right. It's earned. You can't tell people to respect you and expect them to. You have to earn it. And Putin isn't going to screw with Trump like he did with Obama, or he would have with Hillary. It was just what the heck? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life.
Let's continue on with this. Confirmed by the New York Times. Despite claim to the contrary, Uranium One has in fact exported yellow cake out of America and is routinely packed into drums and trucked off to a processing plant in Canada. Confirmed by The Hill, the FBI has uncovered substantial evidence that the Russian nuclear industry officials were engaged in bribery, kickbacks, extortion, and money laundering. Confirmed by CNBC, Clinton Foundation, Megan donor Frank Holmes claimed that he sold uranium-1 before Hillary's State Department approved the Russian transfer, but his company's own SEC filings provide otherwise. Prove otherwise. I mean, on CNBC, Clinton mega donor and uranium executive Frank Holmes claimed he sold his uranium-1 stock before Hillary's Clinton State Department approved the transfer of 20% of all U.S. uranium to Putin's Russia in 2010. Yet, according to his company's U.S. Global Investors, his own 2011 SEC filing, Holmes' company still hold uranium-1 stock, a point he later admitted. Confirmed by the New York Times, while 8 other agencies had to sign off on approving the transfer of 20% of all U.S. uranium to Russia, Hillary Clinton's State Department was the only government agency headed by an official, Hillary Clinton, whose family foundation received $145 million from foreign investors involved in the uranium deal. FBI, confirmed by the FBI agents already had an eyewitness and documents to support the most explosive parts of the uranium-1 story. The Hill confirmed that federal agents have obtained an eyewitness account backed by documents indicting Russian nuclear officials had rounded millions of dollars to the U.S. Designed to benefit former President Bill Clinton's charitable foundation. During the time Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton served on a government body that provided a favorable decision to Moscow. The U.S. House and Senate have now launched an official probes into the uranium-1 scandal. And they're going to see that Robert Mueller is involved in all this, and he needs to be either fired or he needs to do the right thing and step down from this investigation and let someone else get involved. But I don't see that happening. I do see maybe if more stuff comes out in the next few months, I kind of lean towards of Trump firing him, because he has every single right of firing him, and him being basically conflict of interest in this whole thing, because he was a part of the whole Russian deal. It's been proven that he was a part of it. It's been proven that he went to Russia with this whole uranium-1 deal. It's conflict of interest. He needs to be fired. He needs to be held accountable.
I agree.
You got any statement on that, Henry?
Yeah, I was waiting on Henry to expand. Can he hear us?
We can't hear you, Henry.
Henry. Do you see me, Henry?
No, I can't hear you.
Henry.
If you can hear us, we can't hear you.
Henry, answer your phone.
Man, technical difficulties.
Remember when you might not be that old? It would ring and we'd say, answer your phone, damn it. We had a yellow with a long cord on the kitchen wall.
Yeah. There's.
Yeah, we lost Henry.
Yeah, I think his sound went out on us.
I think he'll be right back.
Yeah, he'll be in.
Yeah, I don't know about Mueller. I think if you ain't doing what you need to do, get out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what would really tickle my fancy. Donald Trump does good.
Mm-hmm.
Give Donald another 8 years, but I would love to see Gowdy.
Yeah.
As president. That man don't joke.
Mm-hmm.
He does give in and compromise on occasion.
Yeah.
But he was on Investigation Discovery Channel, mm-hmm. or A&E, some of the murder mystery type documentaries. I saw Trey Gowdy on at least a couple of those shows when he was
Just a lawyer.
the or the big DA in South Carolina,
Mhm.
Tennessee, South Carolina,
Let's see
and
here.
he's always been. He has his opinions and the way he
All
feels
right,
about
you're
things,
back,
but
Henry.
he's always
Okay.
get
Ooh, we
at
can
the
hear you.
truth. There he is.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, good.
Can
So
you
y'all
hear
were talking
me?
about Mueller should be fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should. I mean, if he was involved in this, yeah, he should. It is a major conflict of interest.
Because they made Jeff Sessions recuse himself.
Right, that's right.
Exactly what I think that's exactly what should happen. The man should recuse himself.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, he's involved. He's basically involved with all this crap.
I think if I had to predict, I think Trump is just finding the right time to fire Mueller. And that right time is probably going to be in the next couple of months. And I think we're going to hear more stuff coming out about this whole Russia Uranium One scandal. And if there's going to be more information, and I hope there's going to be more information, and I think there's going to be more information, it's probably going to be more about Mueller and his role in the whole thing. And what Trump needs to do is just wait for the right time, wait for the right information to come out, then come out and say, well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to fire Mueller because it's conflict of interest. He's, doing something so political that, there should be an independent investigator into this. He needs to wait for the right time to fire Mueller.
Yeah.
Because if he fires Mueller today, there's going to be so much backlash, so much uproar like there was with Comey.
Yeah.
Yep.
But at the same time, you can't let how country am I? You can't let people stay too long either.
Yeah.
The problem is Mueller is chasing this Russia ghost. Do that. Mueller should be chasing Hillary, not Trump.
Yeah.
If Mueller were to do that, it would that would cause conflict with he and Hillary. Because he was involved in all that crap.
Yeah. I mean, if he personally hand delivered the freaking uranium to Russia. Oh my God. So, and also the Gateway Pundit is reporting that President Trump personally ordered DOJ to lift gag order Uranium One informant. Fox News White House correspondent John Roberts reports sources have told Fox News that President Trump, Justice Department, to lift the gag order on the Clinton uranium informant. Well, let's just say that informant better be in high security protection, because you got crazy Hillary out there, and if this dude knows some shit, then shit's about to hit the fan, and he better have some major security protection.
Yep, definitely. Have some heavy security, definitely, around those people. And make sure it's people you can trust.
Exactly. So the New York Post reports the Justice Department lifted a gag order that allowed a former FBI informant to speak to congressional panels investigating an Obama-era deal in which a Russian-backed company was able to get control of a significant amount of the United States uranium supply. The DOJ spokesman late Wednesday cleared the way for the informant to disclose to the committees any information or documents he has concerning alleged corruption or bribery involving transactions in the uranium market, including but not limited to anything related to Vadiman, Mickman, Storm, Tenex, Uranium One, or the Clinton Foundation. GOP lawmakers launched probes this week into the 2010 deal, which was struck between Hillary Clinton, served as former President Barack Obama's Secretary of State, but said a key informant couldn't testify because of a confidentiality agreement with the DOJ. So this whole Russia thing just blew up in their face. It just blew up.
Oh,
Just
I always
like,
say Russia, Russia, Russia.
Russia, Russia, Russia. This whole thing just blew up in their face, and I'm loving it.
well,
So,
and it's not the first thing. It's like the eighth thing in 15 years or 12 years.
yeah.
Occasionally, you find a Republican that gets in trouble for doing something wrong. Okay, getting a DUI or running out on his wife or something. Okay, now then we have John McCain at the moment, but for maybe I'm not watching the equal news, but there is no equal news. It just seems to me that the Democrats keep getting caught in bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger scandals. Wise up. Pick a new plan. Become a decent person. Get some morals and value. I don't know, but anyway, go ahead, Shane. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a YouTube video going around.
Blew up in their face.
Yeah, it's blown up in the face. And there's a video, YouTube video going around. We posted it on Politically Alternative Media. It says, crooked former FBI head Mueller and delivered uranium to Russia on airport tarmac. Oh, my God. So I think the reason why Mueller is there is to cover this whole thing up. And he did a lousy job at covering it up. He did a lousy job trying to cover this up because it's been released that he was part of this whole thing all along. Yeah, he needs to do the right thing, which he probably won't, and recuse himself or step down as special counsel and have Sessions or Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein appoint a new special counsel in all this. Appoint a special counsel looking into the Uranium One deal and not this whole mythical stuff that the media likes to punt out there.
Oh yeah, and there was this.
Shane, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This controversy about something to do with Puerto Rico and some deal that was going on with that was providing electricity down there in Puerto Rico, and the fake news media is asking Sarah Huckabee Sanders about something involving a contract or something like that. You know, just ridiculous crap. It's fake news to make Trump look bad.
Yeah, it was just to make Trump look bad. They try to do everything they can to make him look bad. And going back to the JFK files for quite a bit, they try to make him look bad on that. They say, "Oh, he's not living up to what he promised." I'm like, he had no other choice. He had no other choice but to do that.
Exactly. They're trashing him for that. They're trying to use the whole thing with JFK to trash him for that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to stop unless we get the mainstream media to stop. That's not going to happen. Let's see here. Yeah, you sent me a link, Lel, to a video about the California wildfires.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes or so long, so you can't watch it right now. But it's a conspiracy theory type of thing. And that's what I was going to say a while ago. I thought you might like at your leisure, to
Yeah, I'll check it
watch
out.
and see what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it.
I actually came across to an article that's quite interesting from Big League Politics. Asking the question, is Mueller actually working for Trump?
Huh.
Let me see how long this thing is.
I'm not really so sure what to make of that.
I'm kind of,
Because it seems to me that Mueller is doing everything he can to uncover.
They got eight information. I won't read the whole article. I'll just read the 8 segments they've got. Number one, what do we know so far? Number one, according to sources on all sides, Mueller's team doesn't leak. Neither does Sessions, so no one knows for sure what he's investigating. Number two, with that in mind, realize when leaks appear as news stories, some target put them out there as a desire to preempt or mitigate what is coming. Number three, Trump, Sessions, and Mueller all knew that for the investigation to succeed in getting Loretta Lynch, James Comey, the Podestas, or anyone else on the left, it had to operate in secret and totally below the radar. In other words, it had to look like it was pursuing Trump, even though he was told on multiple occasions he was not a target, and even though he had dismissed most, if not all, of his criminal defense team. Number four, further, it had to look like Sessions was incompetent. Trump provided cheese in the maze early with tweets about why Sessions isn't doing anything, and the like. The giveaway was that the following day, Sessions had a presser for another sting and was smiling as if he knew what was going on. People in Alabama tell me he had a sterling record and never brought cases that he couldn't be won. It was important to Sessions. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Brother is involved.
Yeah, Tony Podesta is now being investigated in this whole uranium one deal, and and it looks like they're hanging the Clintons out to dry. It looks like they're throwing Hillary under the bus with all this.
Maybe the whole bunch of them have figured out they can't kill us all.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take our chance and see if we can beat them.
Wait, no. If they all want to say their own necks, they're going to have to throw each other. They're going to have to throw each other.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so like I said, it looks like they're throwing Hillary under the bus, and I'd be kind of scared to throw Hillary under the bus, to be honest with you, because she knows things.
I know.
So, if you try to take Hillary down, who else is going to go down with her? Who else is she's going to bring down with her?
Oh, God, wouldn't that be great?
I know. As much as I love to see, Hillary getting thrown under the bus, it's going to be even quite spectacular to see who else is she's going to bring down with her.
Is it unnatural?
Number 5.
I am this excited over the thought.
A time to be alive. This is a great time to be alive. This is history. We are living in history right now.
God.
We are living in history right now.
Yeah.
Continuing on. Number 5, it is important that Sessions recuse himself because otherwise the whole inquiry would have been about him. Number 6, unfortunately, it was essential that at first Mueller Sessions to look at Trump people. Hence, some of the Trump associates had to hire lawyers, which Trump has graciously offered to pay for. I do not think that the associates were at all in on the game. Number 7, at some point after Manafort's investigation, most likely the investigation would shift to the Democrats. Note today, NBC has reported that Mueller is investigating Tony Podesta. This is the tip of the iceberg. Number 8, no, Mueller is not a part of Uranium One. He intercepted bomb grande material destined for Al Qaeda to start a bomb project and return it to Russia. He doesn't need a pardon or immunity. And to recap here, From the outset, Trump hired Mueller via Rosenstein to carry out the investigation of the Dems, most notably Podesta, but likely ending with the Clinton Crime Family Foundation, as Rush Limbaugh calls it. Would get Hillary Clinton on the emails, but you might get her on something else, the foundation. Further, this is being carried out in other secrecy on Mueller and Sessions' part. Finally, word is starting to leak out from targets that the investigation has shifted. Oh, and none other than Jimmy Carter came out praising Trump and says that the election was rigged. Yeah, Jimmy Carter came out the other day and said that Russia didn't interfere in the election. Trump won fair and square. No, we didn't vote for Hillary. And
Yep.
Wow, what a time to be alive.
Score for Jimmy. Other than Habitat for Humanity, this is the best thing he's done in years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I saw that.
So what do you guys think the Russian investigation is going to go from here? I think more is going to come out between Hillary and the Obama administration. I think more is coming out. And we see that coming out. It's been leaked out, today.
I think
Coming out little dribs and drabs here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it.
And what do you guys think about the whole conspiracy that Trump and Mueller might be working together, trying to get Hillary behind bars?
Well,
I mean, I would love to believe that.
I would too, but I don't know. It seems like Mueller is doing his best to undermine the president. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
and maybe it's all smoke and mirror.
Could it be a big setup? Could it? I'm not going to say it isn't. I'm not going to say it isn't, but again,
anything's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, anything is possible. You're right.
Mm-hmm. I would love to believe it, that this is one big setup, just to get Hillary in prison.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Hillary had a birthday this past week. I was like, happy birthday, Hillary. I'll be sending your birthday card to the prison that you're going to be at.
Mm-hmm.
There was a post. I don't know if y'all saw it anyway, but it said something about it is Hillary's birthday. Send her some comfortable shoes to wear in prison. And
you know what would have been really awesome? If her birthday gift, the FBI came to her house and arrested her on her birthday and took her to jail. That would have been great.
Oh God, maybe it's happening. It just not hit the news yet.
It might be.
But I kept thinking,
F this F. What the F?
I kept
oh man.
The post,
F-bomb after F-bomb.
And the post I was talking about where it was give Hillary comfortable shoes for prison. I kept wanting to, and it was on it wasn't just like a friend had posted it, it was on a political site or whatever. And I kept wanting to comment so bad, but once you do, your computer's bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
As the other 1,000 people comment. But I wanted to say so bad, don't worry about giving her shoes for prison. In prison, they hand out your own flip-flops,
Yeah.
They give you your shoes in prison.
Allow outside shoes to be worn. I've never been in prison, so I don't know.
I
don't
know.
No,
think
they
No,
they'll
don't.
let
You
all.
see, they don't
I
allow
haven't
you to have outside
ever
news. The reason why is because you can use the strings, the laces from them, and
Oh
kill
yeah,
somebody or harm somebody or even harm yourself.
Mhm.
So they give you like
and
these slip-on things.
yeah, and yeah, steel-toed boots, or you can't. Yeah, they give you socks, but you got to wear them with the
Mhm. I was
flippy
just thinking of
floppies.
something. Henry, you remember Better Call Saul when the Kettlemans, Saul said to Mrs. Kettleman, "You'll be running your own prison gang." That's good. That's Hillary. That's Hillary.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes. She'll have meat out of her hand. Man, I'm telling you.
Yep. All right, so let's get to some other news. The Vegas gunman's brother arrested in L.A. on child porn charges. So the Vegas shooter had two brothers, one Bruce Paddock and the other Eric. The Eric was the one that was interviewed on TV, but Bruce Paddock, the other brother of the Vegas shooter, was arrested on child porn charges. Let's see here. I'm trying to see. Bruce Paddock is not considered a suspect on the Las Vegas shooting. The child porn case predates the shooting, but I'm trying to see if it had like what he did. It doesn't say what he did. It said okay. It said they was confirmed by law enforcement, briefed on the investigation, but not authorized to discuss it publicly. So he was arrested for child porn charges. It goes to show how what's this is what I'm looking for? How evil these people are. If this dude was arrested on child porn charges, which is just absolutely disgusting.
Oh Lord.
And speaking of pedophilia and Hollywood, apparently Corey Feldman is looking to do a movie and start name dropping these pedophiles, agents that's in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good
he's
for
got the
Corey.
money, he's got the backing, and apparently he's been threatened by a whole bunch of numbers of people. And it's going to happen. I mean, he's trying to expose something that's continuous. It's still going on today in Hollywood. And
I saw that. Yeah, I
I
saw
hope
that.
he blows the whole lid off of this. I hope he blows the whole lid off of this.
I do too. I do too.
I mean,
I've
No,
seen.
because he started out as a child actor.
Yeah.
He started out as a child actor
him
and
and
a child star.
Corny Helm, Heyman.
Well, Corey
Um,
Haim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Corey Haim.
Well,
two Corey.
And
Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman was in movies and TV shows and TV commercials even before
Mhm.
he and Corey
Yeah.
Haim teamed up. So
Yeah, he's young too. And what I was gonna say was, we're talking about Corey Feldman, right? Corey Haim died.
Yeah, he died.
yeah,
Yeah, Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
I have seen an odd and end TV show through the last 10 or 12 years or whatever. That was him or his family. It was like, one where they show celebrity houses or.
Mm-hmm. MTV Cribs.
Yeah, well, no, but the new version of it on HGTV. Or
It's like MTV Cribs.
but anyway, yeah. But anyway, I've seen him on a number of different odd and end shows since he's been, 35 or 40 or, and above.
Mm-hmm.
And for as wild and partying and the name he had, back in his younger days, he has straightened up. He has grown up.
Mm-hmm.
He has children. He loves very much, wants to take care of, and he has really turned out to be a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And if he,
Mhm.
I can understand people not wanting their name to get out. If I was molested in Hollywood and I was still trying to work or whatever, I wouldn't want somebody to say, you know, Lael was blah blah by so and so. That drags me into it, and if I'm trying to put it behind me, I can see why people would fuss. But I am so proud of Corey Feldman because that's what needs to be done.
Yeah. I mean, the Hollywood elite needs to be knocked down a couple of hundred pegs. And this is going to blow the lid off of everything. And I hope it does. I hope it destroys Hollywood from the inside out. It needs to be destroyed because it is toxic. It is too toxic. It's a toxic brand.
I hope no one innocent gets accused and caught up in it. But I do hope and would be glad if a lot of guilty people got their comeuppance.
Yeah, absolutely. And this whole Harvey Weinstein thing is just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to keep going and going and going, and I hope it gets even further and deeper into this.
But now they prosecuted Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
And he, on the last 5 years of his life, and nobody bothered to say anything about it until the man turned 85 years old. And now they're popping at it. And I'm not saying he didn't do it at all. I don't know. I was not there.
Yeah.
But it was the 70s and the 80s. You couldn't come out before 2015 when the man's on his deathbed and you want some of his money.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I feel about it. I'm not saying he's innocent. He may be very guilty. And probably is. Most men in Hollywood are.
Hang on, guys. I just heard a weird noise. Hang on, guys. I just heard something outside. It sounded like maybe a branch fell or something.
It's Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot.
That was me. Shane, you don't know how much you remind me of my son.
Let's see. So
he's got hair that stands up. It's dark.
Well, you see what happened is mine. It's bedhead. I always take a nap before I come onto these things.
That's what his is.
And what I do is I always, in the mornings I slick it back and make it like a pompadour style. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to after Halloween I'm going to trim it up a little bit. Because basically what I'm doing is growing up for my costume for Halloween. Let's see here.
I need to send you a picture of my son. He's only 14. He doesn't have the beard. But you remind me a lot of him, and your analytical technological cool nerdiness.
I think that's a compliment.
It was
100% compliment.
It was. You just remind me of James so much.
All right, let's see here. So let's continue on with the news week. The House passed a major budget legislation in a narrow 216 to 212 vote. House Republicans approved Senate's version of the 2018 $4 trillion budget resolution Thursday morning, paving the way for work to begin on President Trump's goal for major tax reform. The budget includes $1.1 trillion for defense and non-defense discretionary spending, routine disaster relief, and the war on terror funding. Passage of the budget will allow Republicans to start work on the overhaul, which adds up to $1.5 trillion to the deficit through a practice that only requires 51 votes to pass the Senate. known as reconciliation. The House approved the budget with no alterations on Thursday, and an extremely close vote of a total of 20 Republicans voted against the legislation, where they could only afford to lose 22 votes. The Hill reported the morning the budget vote followed a dramatic evening of pushback within the local Republican Party over a proposal to eliminate state and local tax deductions, SALT. The backlash from members representing populous high tax states has threatened to block the budget's passage unless a suitable agreement could not be reached during the late night meeting. And the last minute, the meetings were canceled and the budget vote was rescheduled. Ooh, oh, what happened?
I'm listening to you read.
Oh, there's Henry.
All right, I think it was just there's this old oak tree right out here, and I think maybe a branch fell off it. It hit the roof. That's probably what I heard. It was like this loud thump.
It was Sasquatch. Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Tear anything up? The house is all right.
It was okay. Everything seems to be okay. So
Yeah, that's good.
Good deal.
So,
As long as everything.
so what were y'all talking about?
The budget being passed
Oh, okay.
for major budget legislation. After the last minute of the meeting was canceled on the budget vote was scheduled for early morning, indicating bullishness on the part of the GOP leadership. Big news, budget passed, tweeted President Trump. And so, form, just like they did Obamacare's. Because I know JFK is going to screw over the people.
Yep.
And I'm wondering how many else is going to screw over the American people.
Yep.
Speaking of which, Jeff Flake decided not to run for re-election.
I saw that. Yeah.
No. Hey. Goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah, he and Bob Corker have been trashing President Trump. I'm like, sit down and shut the hell up, both of you.
Bob Corker is not going to run for re-election, and Jeff Flake is not going to run for re-election. He was never going to get voted anyway. His approval rating was low. His voters, they screwed over the people that voted for him. So he was never going to get voted.
Kelly Ward, she's going to step in now. I think she's going to beat the Democrat.
Oh yeah,
she's a very strong conservative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of see Kelly Ward winning, just like with Roy Moore, and that election that's coming up soon. I think it's December?
Probably is. I'm not really sure 100% what that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Roy Moore's challenger is George Soros funded. He worked through Soros, and a person from Acorn is now endorsing him. Acorn founder. You guys remember Acorn, right?
Yeah.
The group Acorn?
But I thought Acorn was dead. I thought it was gone. Yeah.
Acorn is
still
not
around.
gone. But it is. It's dead.
It may have a different
But I
name.
think it's probably under a different name, like you say, Lyle. It's probably under a different name.
Yeah. The left tries to tell you. Well, Acorn's not around anymore.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
The people are the people that found it, according to Wade Rathke. He came out for Doug Jones, and he's part of the whole Soros funding and Acorn whatnot.
Yeah, and they have changed the name of that organization. They absolutely have. I forget what they call it now, but yeah.
Yeah, now they have. It's like with Al Qaeda and ISIS, they had to change the name. Mm-hmm. They're all the same. They're all the same terrorist organization.
Oh, of course.
Well, what were the Knights Templar or the Freemasons?
Mm-hmm.
We have Masonic lodges.
Yeah, it seems like every time these groups get exposed, they have to change their name.
Now,
so they won't get exposed.
Now, I am for the Knights Templar and the Freemasons, but some of this other stuff, they changed the name and come out as something else.
Mm-hmm.
That was
So,
example.
Mitch McConnell's establishment world order, I guess you can call it, is not going very well in Nevada. Insurgent Danny Turkin leads Mitch McConnell's incumbent Dean Heller 44 to 38 in a new poll. The rise of the anti-establishment is here, and Mitch McConnell needs to go. Paul Ryan needs to go. Get those two out, get pro-Trump people in to pass the agenda, and you'll see some major changes.
Yeah, exactly. I think we are going to see some major changes where this is all concerned.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a. I think it's all just a big. I mean, Mitch McConnell. I mean, we have the establishment. They're trying to, they're trying to shore up support for themselves and things like that. They're trying to get the American people to believe that they are for the American people, which of course they're not. They're for lining their own pockets.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Soros. That's just the first biggest one that popped in my head. The Clintons, the Obamas, the Muslim Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he funds his radical left-wing organizations. Soros does, from Antifa to Black Lives Matter, his Open Society Foundation. He put in $18 million in that. So yeah.
So what is, or the few top dogs or whatever, there's got to be 50 people underneath them that are rich, that are working all together. Okay, so if they achieve socialism, which is what they all want, or 100 people, however many of the elite that everybody, is paying for the socialism. If they achieve socialism, how do they know that then of the 100 or 1,000 or however many of them that they aren't going to start picking each other off?
Yeah, that's one big giant gain to them. So basically what they're trying to do is trying to kick off the low-wage, middle American worker. And then once they do that, they turn on each other. It's about power. It's about control.
It gets down to the point that no regular American people have anything. It's a communist country. We work where we're told. We live where we're told. We have as many children as we're told. And if we don't salute Hillary every time we walk by, we're put in prison and beat.
Yeah.
Okay, so then there's X amount of these rich people. Where's the money coming from then?
That I cannot tell you. I wish I could know the answer to that.
To keep them rich. So I would say if there was 50 of us and I thought, well, if I killed Henry and Shane, we'd only have to divide it 48 ways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what their mindset, the elite's mindset, the establishment mindset, George Soros's mindset is.
I know, but isn't that scary?
But Mitch McConnell is his establishment. GOP is dead. I mean, they're weakening at Bernie this thing. I mean, they're trying to lump it around and prop it up and make sure it's still alive, like they did Hillary for the election. Yeah, McConnell's establishment's GOP it's dead, and you got Representative Duncan. He said that Republicans who opposes Trump are part of the swamp. That is true. If you oppose the president's agenda, you are a part of that swamp establishment. And then Mitch McConnell's going to they said that Mitch McConnell attacking Bannon debates and tweets Mitch McConnell's candidates. They know they're dead. I mean, it's the polls show that Doug Jones is losing in the Alabama election. His deplorable moment. He said that he doesn't want. He basically, spoke bad of the people of Alabama. So I don't see him winning in December unless they rig it. That's the only way they can. That's the only way they can win. If they rig the elections.
Who can say what they'll do? But we can figure.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it that happened this past week. I think the major news story was the whole JFK Files. Let's get into some local news. Leo, you got any local news for us?
Go to Henry first.
All right, Henry.
Well,
what's your local story?
I do have a local story. It also kind of ties into something the president was talking about today, the whole opioid crisis.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke about it today, and he got a little bit personal because he talked about his brother Fred, who essentially drank himself to death, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So anyway, article is Senator Thad Cochran, Appropriations Committee welcomes opportunity to work with Trump on opioid crisis. President Trump issued a public health emergency declaration to address the opioid crisis on Thursday, and Senator Thad Cochran said this designation would give federal agencies added flexibility to reprogram existing funds. The opioid crisis is a public health and safety challenge that should not be underestimated, said Cochran. Over the past few years, the Appropriations Committee has approved significant defunding throughout the government to address this crisis, including money for opioid interdiction, prevention, and treatment programs. Under the leadership of Republican chairman, funding to combat opioid abuse has more than quadrupled while remaining within budget caps, increasing by $1.2 billion or 415% over the past 3 years. The Senate Appropriations Committee welcomes the opportunity to work with the President and his administration to make more progress on this problem, which has already ruined so many lives, said Cochran. This year, Cochran said the Senate Committee has approved FY 2018 funding totaling $1.45 billion for health, law enforcement, and veterans agencies to combat heroin and opioid addiction, overdoses, and deaths. A significant contrast from the $289 million provided in fiscal year 2015. Cochran indicated that the committee welcomes an opportunity to work with the administration to fund research efforts into pain control and alternative treatments, new comprehensive pain management, training, and education for prescribers, increased naloxone availability, particularly for veterans, and state and local law enforcement grants to help communities improve response to opioid-related cases. Below is a summary of the funding over the past 3 years under the Senate Republican chairman to combat heroin and opioid abuse. Summary: Labor, Health and Human Services, Education appropriations from $57 million in FY 2015 to $801 million in FY 2017. FY stands for fiscal year. $816 million in FY 2018 Senate bill. Commerce, Justice, Science appropriations from $233 million in FY 2015 to $277 million in FY 2017, $288 million in FY 2018 Senate bill. VA funding to combat heroin and opioid abuse from $231 million in FY 2015 to $368 million in 2017, 386 million in the the new bill. Total government-wide from 289 million in 2015 to 1.45 billion in 2017, 1.49 billion in 2018 Senate bill. All but 2018 reflect enacted levels. So this is a real problem. This is a it is. I mean, the addiction and things of this nature, and
Yeah.
it's very.
Yeah, President Trump even also declared it a national emergency.
He did.
It's been in the news for 2, if not 3 or more years.
Mm-hmm. It has.
How bad it's gotten. Surprisingly, in the northeastern, where you wouldn't think, I mean, New York, or you might think people would be doing drugs, but like Massachusetts and Maine and Vermont, and I'm not sure of those states precisely, but I remember a while back they were just everyone is just aghast at the northeastern states that generally did not have this, maybe drunk driving or poaching deer, but not this level with drugs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's a real problem. It's a real epidemic.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think anyone can relate to someone that they know or a friend that they know that's addicted to this opioid crisis.
Yeah, and it's very sad. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
It destroys lives. It ruins lives.
Absolutely does. It does.
Yeah, and lots of lives, not just yours, the people around you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's an issue that's hard to control.
I like to party, some, but I don't do stuff.
The hardcore drugs.
No, build a bonfire and have a drink or drink a couple of beers or but no, you don't. It's sad.
We got some breaking news here.
Get it better.
Got some breaking news here from fake news CNN, and
Woo!
I want to report this. I want to have this on record so that a few days later they can come out and redact it.
What did they make up today?
They said exclusive. First charges filed in Mueller investigation. CNN reports, fake news CNN, reports a federal grand jury in Washington, D.C. on Friday approved the first charges in the investigation led by Special Counsel Robert Mueller, according to sources briefed on the matter.
Yeah, source.
There's that source.
Anonymous
sources again.
Yeah.
Sources again, and their sources has been wrong 99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
The charges are sealed under orders from a federal judge. Plans were prepared Friday for anyone charged to be taken into custody as soon as Monday, the source says. So it's going to be quite interesting to see if anybody gets taken into custody. What the charges are. Special counsel's office declined comment. And then it goes on to this whole thing. But yeah. So we're going to have to wait until Monday and see if see if anybody gets arrested on Monday, and who will get arrested on Monday. But
I bet it'll be a big bunch of really evil criminals. Not. Nothing gonna happen on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
If we're down to our local news or our getting toward the end. And I told Henry to go first. What do you all think about the November 4th Antifa, the list?
Yeah, I saw this whole list. And are you part of that whole Antifa thing? Is North Carolina on the list?
We've got 2 cities on the list.
It's probably what, Raleigh and Charlotte's?
No, I can't. Well, it was New Bern and Wilmington, because we have 4, if not 5, military bases on our coast at the Outer Banks, and New Bern is about midway. Of the way up North Carolina, and Wilmington is toward the bottom of North Carolina. Fayetteville has Pope Air Force Base, Bragg, Fort Bragg. God, there's something else there too. Fayetteville is the Green Beret. And we have military from the bottom to the top of our state, all up against the ocean. And I live about halfway up the state, just back 100 miles from the ocean, and surrounded by all these bases. Not close by, but you know, there's one 100 miles north of me, one 100 miles south of me. They're, you know. So yes, I'm worried. I know New Bern was on the list, and Wilmington, I think it was Wilmington. And who knows? I reposted the list, and I try not to share too much of the things I see, but
yeah, I saw the list, and it's mainly those Democratic counties, like it always has been. And November 4th, basically what Antifa is doing is trying to remove Trump from office. They're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. They say they're going to protest until a demand is met. There's going to be one big temper tantrum. It's going to be one big crybaby-thon.
Exactly.
I don't see them protesting, and this is what the report said on Your News Wire from refusefascism.org. George Soros is funded site probably. Revcom.us is going to be George Soros funded. Maybe that's why George Soros pumped $18 million in the Open Society Foundation last week.
No, you know what they're going to do? You know what these idiots are going to do? They're going to lay out in the middle of the street and kick their feet and lay down in the middle of the street and throw a temper tantrum.
Pacifiers out.
Yep.
Like little babies. I mean, that's what they're going to do. And that's.
Did you hear that they was going to scream into the sky on the anniversary of Trump being elected?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so refugefascism.org. George Soros funded probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Take to the streets and public squares and cities and towns across the country, continuing day after day and night after night, not stopping until our demand is met. These people are so freaking lazy; they're going to stop within like 24 hours. I don't see this thing, lasting for 40 days and 40 nights.
Them enough, they got drugs and alcohol and all sorts of shit, and they can find it in the town they're going to, and if Soros is paying them enough, they'll go for days.
I wonder if any of the hippie potheads in Willow Creek are going to be doing that too. Because
Probably.
there are hippie potheads in Willow Creek, California.
It's funny that the hippies are the ones that's the pro-communism, you know. And the '60s hippies, they were like, all for freedom and love and peace and all that. And now you got these new hippies that's pro-communism.
If you think about it, we went to Vietnam to stop communism, basically. You know, in South Korea, Vietnam. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when our troops came back, they were treated like crap from the hippies because they were trying to snuff communism, and the hippies didn't think they had the right to. And the hippies now are still into communism.
Yeah. And this is from two different websites, refusefascism.org and revcom.us. And then, and I quoted, day after day, night after night, and not stopping until the demand is met. And here's what rev.com has to say. Our protests must grow day after day and night after night, thousands becoming hundreds of thousands, and then millions determined to act upon a stop to the grave danger of the Trump-Pence regime. So, you know, they both have the exact same wording, day after day, night after night. So this thing right here is funded by George Soros, and they must have been, you know, so stupid to not try to copy and paste exactly what they were trying to say.
Nazi to start with.
Yeah, he's a Nazi. He's a Nazi. You know, he turned his back on his Jewish friends and went with the Nazis. They said Trump's a Nazi. You better look at the person that's fronting you guys. You've been funded by a Nazi.
Oh yeah,
You've been funded by a Nazi.
No question about that.
And, I'm glad we brought up Nazis, because I posted something the other day. People in the Ukraine is run by the Nazis.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. Let me see if I can bring up the. Remember the whole Ukraine thing with the people of the Ukraine started protesting and everything, and they wanted a government change.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, after they done that, the Nazis took over. Real legitimate Nazis took over.
How did we not hear that after all of the news of the problems there?
Exactly. So tens of thousands of actual Nazis hold a march in U.S.-funded Ukraine. Actual Nazis hold a march in U.S.-funded country. Mainstream media ignore the 20,000 Ukrainian chanting fascist slogans, and openly giving the Nazi salute. The Ukraine, Kiev, Ukraine, not last weekend.
Oh, Shane, you're breaking up again.
Ignored as they praise genocide. Nazis extremists gathered to honor the anniversary of the Insert Army, UPA. The UPA was a paramilitary group that collaborated with Hitler and the Nazis. Of course, since the Ukraine has the populated Western, which now commonly operates as state corporate propagandists for the American empire, remains silent against the propaganda they had to become.
I didn't know there was
Now,
I knew there were still people in Europe who considered themselves still to be in a Nazi party. But I did not know that there was a big enough Nazi party.
yeah, and what's
I'm not laughing. It's
shocking
not funny, but I really did not know there was.
yeah, and what's really, really well, not shocking to me or probably you guys, but so you guys know Joe Biden, right? Former vice president.
Oh, the moron.
I saw him at the store yesterday.
So, revealing the nefarious nature of the U.S. chosen bedfellows, one of the reported leaders of the rally, Oglen Tannenbach, who happens to be an associated to U.S. Senator John McCain and former Vice President Joe Biden, called on the Ukrainian authorities to do more crackdown on the criminal activities of the organized jewelry. Tannenbach, also leader of the ultra-nationalist nationalist political party of Soblia. So basically, Joe Biden is pictured here shaking hands with neo-Nazi. Let me turn down the brightness on this. Neo-Nazi Tannenbach. Right there. There's Joe Biden shaking hands with an actual neo-Nazi.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe Biden.
It's just nice to everybody.
That's okay. That's okay with Creepy Joe.
Yeah.
He likes to touch kids in places and starts kissing on them. But there he is shaking hands with Joe Biden. But that's okay because Joe Biden,
Yeah, he was
vice president.
He likes to put his hands on women, even when they don't solicit it.
He's Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how many women should come out and say that Creepy Joe touched me or groped me.
Yeah.
Speaking of grope, man, great transitioning tonight. Speaking of grope, former George H.W. Bush Sr. has been caught up in a scandal lately. A couple of women said that he groped them from the wheelchair.
That would not shock me at all. That would not surprise me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not at all. And he said that one of them, he had a joke. He asked the woman, what's her favorite book? And he said, mine's David Copperfield, and he squeezed her somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I didn't want to get off on a tangent, but yeah, let me go back onto my local news.
As the kind of woman I am and where I was raised and where I come from, if that was it and that was all, I'd be offended. I'd try to stay away from him in the future.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go tell anybody or make a fuss about it if it was as far as it went. If it was something more. But I would, like I say, I'd just stay away, be pissed off at him the rest of my life, but I wouldn't make a shit about it.
So, going back to November 4th, it begins. They say it begins.
And November.
And it's it's on the same day as the Bolshevik Revolution too.
It's also my mama's birthday.
And don't think that's not coincidental that they would schedule this on the same day as the Bolshevik Revolution either. Don't think that's not coincidental.
Tell us why.
Go ahead, Henry.
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, these people are Antifa. They're supposed to be anti-fascist. Of course, we know they're anything but. I mean, the Bolshevik Revolution was, a major deal that happened, and wouldn't be surprising if they I imagine they purposefully scheduled that for the same day. I mean, it would be like scheduling something on Guy Fawkes Day or something like that.
Yeah.
I saw.
So, what do you guys think? Is this going to be fall flat on the face, or we're just going to see what we've been seeing since Trump ran? Just protest after protest. And it's
There
surprising.
ain't-
I'm concerned as to why they haven't been protesting lately. I mean, the last protest we had was the Charlottesville thing, and then it just died down, and now it's slowly regurgitating, picking back up to November 4th.
I personally think that this, much like Occupy Wall Street, will fall on its face.
Oh yeah, that fell flat.
Yeah. Of course, I haven't heard of it. I have not heard of any of these individuals shitting on police cars or anything like that. So,
but I can probably predict that, seeing how there are in Democratic counties and country and states, they're going to tell the cops to stand down. No doubt in my mind, because they told the cops to stand down in Charlottesville, they told them to stand down in Berkeley, they told them to stand down out the wazoo of all the other protests. They're going to tell them to stand down, and there's going to be, I said there's going to be rocks thrown, there's going to be cars destroyed, there's going to be lighting the local CVS on fire for some reason that God only knows. I do see violence happening on November 4th, and the reason why is because the cops are going to be told to stand down. But maybe Trump has sessions, and maybe he can nip it in the bud between now and then. Maybe it's something he can nip in the bud.
I saw a post today. It wasn't the list of towns they're supposed to hit, whether that's a valid list or not. But anyway, but it was another post that was saying, I'm scrolling looking for it, but I've not run across it yet. And a lot of it was stupid, but it was like to the Antifa followers or whoever go into the riots or whatever. It was like dress like white supremacists. Or
yeah, they do that. Well, see, what they do is they dress up like the Klan and like a neo-Nazi, so that they can invoke fighting, so that they can say, the alt-right did it. They blame it, so they can blame it on the alt-right. So to be just like one big hoax.
It said if you can come up with a good police uniform, wear it. This, so that we can blend in, and the police don't know which is us and which is them. And if I can find it, I'll share it to you later. But I thought if I could find it right quick, you could put it up. But
yeah, it's just going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen on November 4th. And it's right around the corner. It's only a few days away.
Somebody commented
it's actually next
on
Saturday.
that.
Next Saturday. And I can guarantee you that if anything happens, I will be doing a live hangout, and it'll probably be after the Walking Dead cast. So if anything happens, I'll be covering it live.
Point of the thing on November 4th actually to go to the White House and drag Trump out or some crap.
They try to basically what they're trying to do is make the government so what's the word I'm looking for? Unmanageable. They're trying to make it unmanageable so they could declare martial law and try to take out Trump because of using martial law or something like that. And it's so silly. It's so stupid. I don't see. I don't see thousands and hundreds of thousands of people showing up. I do see them busing people in from other states. I do see, like I said, probably rocks being thrown.
Maybe, but not hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, they'll bust in a couple of hundred illegals. They'll bust in a couple of hundred people from different states and different Democratic counties, and try to make it look big like they did the Women's March in January.
Yeah,
which that didn't help. I mean,
Yeah.
where's the women marching in Hollywood? You know, they're against Harvey Weinstein.
Exactly, none.
Nowhere are going.
But no one can declare martial law but the president.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be what? A rebellion, a
Hmm.
if the people overtook and declared martial law themselves, so to
Yeah,
speak.
that would be a rebellion against the government, and that's what they're basically trying to do, is trying to rebel against the government,
Yeah.
which is, pretty difficult to do.
I'll bet there's more ammo in the White House than
Yeah.
Antifa's gonna bring.
Hmm.
I don't know.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so let me
God
get with my
bless.
local news story. And you guys probably remember a couple of weeks ago, I had a report about the Mercer County sheriff basically not responding to traffic accidents. Well, there's been 2 updates since, and I'll report on both of those updates. The first update was at October 9th at 7:30 a.m. And they said officials with the Mercer County Sheriff's Department said they have reversed their decision on responding to traffic accidents. This comes after the Sheriff's Department announced Friday of 2 weeks ago um, that they would stop to responding to accident calls due to lack of staff and funding. At the time of the decision, the sheriff said that with only 18 deputies on staff, it would be difficult to respond to emergency calls. Deputies said they are being told by county officials they cannot afford any additional positions at the department. And update number 2, it was the exact same day at 7 p.m. After reversing the decisions on responding to traffic accidents, the Mercer County Sheriff's Department met with the West Virginia State Police of Princeton Detachment on Monday to discuss better ways to respond to emergency calls. The Sheriff's Department and State Police decided to begin coordinating schedules to make sure a trooper and a deputy are always on shift. Both agencies are short-staffed, and the decision would double the manpower, ensuring that all emergency calls are responded to in a timely manner. So yeah, I'm glad they reversed that decision, and I'm glad they now they're getting ready to correspond with each other, and hopefully that'll boost some of the manpower, and hopefully they can bring in more people to respond to emergency calls and everything. But yeah, it seems good. But yeah, so I figure I'd update you guys on that, since that was one of the updates I had for you guys.
Cool. Good deal.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it. That's going to do it for us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was the last show of October. Next week we're into November.
And
So yeah,
Tuesday is Halloween.
Tuesday is finally Halloween. Halloween is finally here. It is
Yeah.
finally here.
And you know what's bad is I'm already seeing Christmas commercials.
Oh, they've already had Christmas
I've
out
seen
in.
Christmas commercials for weeks.
I'm not seeing
Mhm.
Christmas commercials. I've seen Christmas stuff in the stores since September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
But-
Shane, Leo and I, we grew up in a different era. We remember they didn't start Christmas till after Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Now it's Halloween and Christmas together. They bypass Thanksgiving and into Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got Thanksgiving, but they slide September, October, and November, Halloween and Thanksgiving all in together with the orange
Yeah.
and red and the yellow and the pumpkins and the turkeys.
Speaking of Halloween, we've got to discuss this, because this is PC in Halloween now. So basically, a school is now saying that you can't say the word Halloween. So we've done away with that, and now it's called Black and Orange Spirit Day. And then they say that there won't be any costume parade because it's not diverse enough. Because Halloween's not diverse. Because apparently,
Someone might get insulted.
Somebody
So-
call Negan. Negan will go over there with Lucille and say, "What's all this about banning Halloween?"
you better get your shitting pants on. Because you're about to shit your pants.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and now the PC police is telling us what we can and cannot dress as. Apparently, you can't dress as a Disney character, Moana, because it's insensitive to the Hawaiian people because of cultural appropriation. Well, you know what? Fuck a cultural appropriation. If you want to dress as Moana, dress as Moana. If you want to dress as an Indian, dress as an Indian. If you want to dress as a cowboy, dress as a cowboy. Because quite frankly, you got Frederica Wilson. She's dressing as a cowgirl every single freaking day. So is that cultural appropriation?
She's a moron too.
And let's not forget Pocahontas. You got Pocahontas, who's cultural appropriating herself of being a fake Indian. All right.
Yep.
So don't get me started on that.
But listen, the thing that the liberals and the pacifiers are missing is when a little boy wants to dress up like a Ninja Turtle, that's because he loves the Ninja Turtle.
Mm-hmm.
But that's cultural appropriation to ninjas.
Ninja Turtle. If a little girl wants to dress up like Cinderella or Dora or the Little Mermaid,
She can't dress as Dora because that's insult to Mexicans.
Because they like them.
And let me guess let me just guess which state this is that you're talking about, Shane. It's got to be where I just came from, California.
No, actually, it's Massachusetts.
Really?
Hey.
Massachusetts. Yes.
Now there are some costumes you could make yourself or whatever that are not appropriate. But as far as little kids, if it's a Disney character, that's because they like that character. It's not. Oh my God.
Well, I was going to say,
He does 30 more years in this world.
Massachusetts is a very leftist place anyway. Yeah. New England is very lefty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole part of the country.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you explain Bernie Sanders being elected as senator?
Yeah. But
how? Okay, it was a good show.
One place I'm glad we avoided going to when we were out there in California is Berkeley.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, San Francisco. I don't know about San Francisco. There's some weird stuff in San Francisco.
They're very lefty there.
You know the song, right? You remember the song, If You Go Into San Francisco?
Yes, yeah.
Flower in Your Hair?
Kevin Morrison kept singing that song, yeah.
That's good.
I think I probably revealed my age. I'm like 60.
Because
if I know that song.
We crossed the Golden Gate Bridge.
Ooh, yeah.
So, which was really great.
Did you see the Full House?
No.
You didn't? Not even Family Matters?
No, Family Matters was Chicago.
Yeah, but I think they didn't shoot like the exterior.
No, that was Chicago.
Really?
Full House was San Francisco.
Yeah. The row houses.
Yeah, the row houses. I think those same houses were in Mrs. Doubtfire, wasn't it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where they filmed Mrs. Doubtfire was San Francisco.
God, I love Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah. and all the Dirty Harry movies were filmed in San Francisco.
All right. So my final thought is don't fuck up Halloween, you PC police. All right.
Really?
You're fucking up Halloween and you're fucking up Christmas. Do not fuck up the two holidays. I love those two holidays, and there will be hell to pay.
4th of July.
Easter too.
The veteran.
Yeah.
We don't have anything anymore that.
I have a red, white, and blue Texas Bigfoot T-shirt I can wear on the 4th of July. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Guilty.
You don't have to wear that just on the 4th of July. Wear that.
I know.
Thing every day.
I love to wear it.
Wear it every day.
Shelly gave it to me. Yeah, Shelly gave me that shirt.
I enjoyed it, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Tune in next week. It's going to be quite an interesting week, Halloween. It's going to be interesting to see if there's going to be any protests on Halloween.
But if you can't wait to see us till next week,
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
Get your shitting pants on.
Yes.
Tomorrow night is
The return.
Webcasting Dead. Webcasting Dead.
Yes.
Get your shitting pants on.
Yeah.
Because you are going to shit your pants.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk Walking Dead with hopefully Amy can join us. But if Amy can't join us, it's gonna be me, Henry, and Ellen. And Ellen's great.
Not me.
You know, Ellen's great. Yeah, we disagree with politics, but we can agree with one thing: Breaking Bad is awesome. Better Call Saul is awesome, and Walking Dead is awesome. Yeah. And you know, that brings us together. You know, left and right brings us together. TV, TV can bring us together. But yeah, we haven't had a show since Better Call Saul in the Fall Goodcast. So yeah, so tomorrow night is the return or premiere season 8, episode 1.
Yeah, that's been since
episode 100 altogether.
That's been since June, since when we the last Saul Goodcast. So yeah.
So tomorrow night is the Webcasting Dead. We're going to discuss in depth and predict on what's going to happen for this season of Walking Dead. And Monday and Tuesday, Monday's Halloween Eve, I guess you can call it. Tuesday's Halloween. Cannot wait to what are you dressing up as, Henry?
Myself. But hey, Shane, didn't you say we might have a special guest tomorrow night?
We might have Negan on tomorrow night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we might have Negan. Lucille is what was that, Lucille? Okay. Yep, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. Yeah, so Monday and Tuesday is Halloween for me. Halloween early and Halloween because Monday we're going to the college and I is going to do a trunk or treat at the local Athena Center. And basically, what the Athena Centers is, they have like concerts and plays and stuff. They're going to do a trunk or treat there, and Negan's going to make a special appearance at the trunk or treat. And Negan's also going to make a special appearance at the Halloween Monster Mash that we always put off.
Nice.
The street that we have. And basically, what we do is hand out candy for the kids and everything. It's fun. It's great. Last year we had protesters last year for the Monster Mash, and basically I don't know if they were Westboro Baptist Church or whatever, but they was like protesting, said Halloween is a satanic holiday and that all of you guys are going to hell because you're celebrating it.
Oh yeah, that's all right. We know Negan. He will shut that shit down.
I will.
No exceptions.
No exceptions. That shit, they better get their shitting pants on because that shit will be shut down. That's going to be my new line now. That's going to be my line. Although I'm going to have to clean it up. I'm going to have to, let's say, your crapping pants. You better put your crapping britches on because you're going to crap your britches. That's the clean version right there. Oh, I have to clean that up. But yeah, Webcasting Dead tomorrow night, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, we're going to do the Wednesday. We're going to do the foodie show.
Wednesday is a Bigfoot foodie show on the Looking for Bigfoot channel. Basically, what we're going to do is talk about food.
Yeah, I can talk about all the stuff I got to eat when I was on my trip.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you watch the Looking for Bigfoot News Hour this past Wednesday, Henry was talking about Five Guys and pizza places and barbecue pizza.
No, it wasn't Five Guys. It was In-N-Out.
Oh, In-N-Out.
Yeah.
We have Five Guys here, I think. Yeah, so In-N-Out Burger. Oh, my God. So, yeah, so we're going to do a foodie show because it's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's around the corner. Christmas is around the corner. So why not talk about food?
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you guys want to eat during the broadcast, go right ahead. Feel free to. It's a foodie show, so bring whatever you want.
Maybe I could make turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and gravy and all of that, and I could eat it here
I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it Thanksgiving again, like we did last year. We're going to have turkey and all the trimmings and everything, dressing. All yeah.
Oh. Save it for the foodie show. Yeah. Yep. Since then, again, next week, the very first episode of Not Mainstream on the 3rd of November. We're going to talk whatever happens between now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 4th is going to be another Webcasting Dead at 8. And then if Antifa follows through, what I'll do is I'll open up a live stream right after the Webcasting Dead and discuss any riots that's going on and talk about that and live stream that. So that'd be great.
Remember, we were on the air when that whole thing. We were on the air when that whole thing went down at the that was at Julius Caesar. Remember in Central Park?
Yeah,
we were on the air when that happened.
Yeah, and then we talked about the protests the night before the inauguration too.
We did.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great. It's going to be fun.
Cool.
And on that note, I think that's going to do it. Tomorrow night, Webcasting Dead. The link to that is going to be in the description below. The link to Looking for Bigfoot's in the description below. Well, on that note, good night, everybody. Have a fun, safe, happy Halloween.
Yes.
Dress whatever the hell you want. Dress whatever the hell you want.
It's not Black and Orange Day. It's Halloween,
it's Halloween, damn it. It's Halloween, damn it. Not Black and Orange Spirit Day.
America.
God bless Trump. God bless America. And you know what? God bless Halloween.
Yeah.
Good night.